cooks for the captain's table, a jewel-encrusted Fabergé egg, on a journey across the Baltic to St. Petersburg. He modernises the classic French dessert, île flottante, and makes the easiest soufflé in the world, soufflé glacé cassis. Our story has taken us from Paris to Vienna and now to Brighton, where Carême worked for the infamous Prince Regent at the Pavilion. Carême loved the modern kitchens, but hated the weather, and most of all, the prince himself. After 8 months, he was given a lifeline. Tsar Alexander of Russia, who Carême had cooked for when the Allies invaded Paris, wanted the world's first celebrity chef to cook for him at the Winter Palace in St. Petersburg. Carême didn't hesitate and left for Russia in the knowledge he was about to make a fortune. Eric's retracing Carême's steps, but is travelling in a little more style.
Carême's journey to St. Petersburg was horrendous. 200 years ago, sea travel was dirty and very dangerous. Near the coast of Denmark, the ship hit a terrible storm. As well as being very seasick, Carême thought he was going to die. To make the matters worse, as we approached St. Petersburg, they ran out of ration, and he almost starved to death.
No danger of Eric starving to death, as this cruise ship boasts a fantastic 4 restaurants and a huge staff of chefs. Eric's having to pay for his passage though by cooking dessert for the captain and his guests.
So here we are, back in a professional kitchen. A lot of memories, of course, because I did my national service in a galley kitchen. So as usual, I'm in a corner when all the other chefs got the luxury of the big kitchen. So as we are on the way to St. Petersburg, I thought, let's do a dessert with a Russian theme. So I'm going to make a Fabergé egg with a chocolate mousse and blueberries. So first of all, we're going to make an egg shell where we're going to serve the mousse in. When you use good quality chocolates, you need to move the temperature, so you need to melt it quite hot, drop the temperatures to a certain level, and reheat it again. And I'm going to leave it in the fridge till the time I do the mousse. So the rest of the recipe is quite simple. It's a nice chocolate mousse. So 8 egg yolks, 250 grams of caster sugar, and a bit of elbow action with a whisk. Right, next step is to, we got some unsalted butter, we've been melted, and I got some pure cocoa powder here. And I do say cocoa powder, not drinking chocolates. And we're going to mix them together. This is a nice, strong, rich recipe. It works perfectly with the blueberries, because they're very quite acidic. But you got the sweetness on the, of the fruit. You can go quite bitter with the chocolates. I don't even think about using milk chocolate on this one. It will completely ruin the recipe. It'll be too sweet, so just forget it.
Now add the chocolate to your eggs and icing sugar mixture.
We're going to mix all the ingredients together.
Next, add the butter and cocoa mixture. Using a spatula, stir in thoroughly.
Okay, next step is adding the cream to our chocolate mousse. Just slightly whipped, you don't want to over-whip it. Carême will have never put anything simple on a plate, so wait for what's going to come up on the decorations, and that's when you're going to hold your breath on the work. Okay, that's ready. So to fill the eggs, I'm going to use a piping bag. So here I got some disc of dark chocolate sponge, and we're just going to gently push them on the mousse. I always find sponge very boring, so we always need to add a bit of a kick on flavors. So I got some crème de cassis here, which is quite a similar fruit to the blueberries. You're going to break first through the crunchy chocolate, and you're going to have the lovely light mousse and the oozing blueberry compote at the end. A bit more booze, you can't go wrong with booze, to be honest. Okay, that's it for step 1. They're all set. We're going to go in the fridge to set before we demold them, before we do the artistic bits to it as well. Okay, so here I got a silicone mold. As you can see, it's designed to look like jewels. And we're going to use a caramel, colored caramel, to make some decoration for the top of our eggs. I'm using some alcohol-based food coloring because you can't use water-based. Okay, so the temperatures to make the jewels have to be absolutely right. Well, a few reasons for that. First, they need to be brittle to look like glass, and at the same time, we want the right colors because we want to be clear. Okay, so they're set. You can feel with your fingers they are like hard. So we're just going to demo them gently.
Choose your colors: rubies, emeralds, yellow diamonds, whatever you like. Make a paper cornet to decorate the eggs with tempered chocolate. The captain's guests are on their main course, so time to decorate.
So that's done. Now the gilding, glittering, we can call it as well, because we're going to use edible glitter just to give it that jewel type of look. Just a bit of edible glitter. Slide them gently. I think this one is my favorite, so we're gonna have to give this one to the captain. Just a bit of a dusting of a cocoa, and if it wasn't enough glitz on the actual eggs, just a bit of a flakes of gold leaves as well, scattered on the plate. So.
Fantastic. Yeah. The golden one. Yeah.
Oh, it's molten.
Delicious.
Gorgeous. Chocolate. I'm in.